Are you ready to delve into a true story filled with passion, betrayal and self-discovery? This is more than just a tale of marriage, it's a soul-shaking journey. Imagine walking with your partner through 11 years of ups and downs, only to uncover a secret one day that could shatter everything. Want to know what happens next? Be sure to follow our channel for more. Me, a 44-year-old male, and my soon-to-be ex-wife, a 39-year-old female, have been married for 11 years. No kids. We were a pretty chubby couple until 2 years ago when I had a blood test, and it came out that I was prone to contracting diabetes, gout and hypertension. It really scared me. And we both bit by bit started to have a very healthy life. I went from 117 to 85 kilograms, and my wife, let's call her Lily, from 83 to 65 kilograms. We felt great. And needless to say, I never developed those diseases. We attended a gym almost daily in the afternoon where the affair partner worked as a coach. Let's call him Baldy. When my wife started getting in shape, I noticed most guys turned to see her. I felt so proud of her. She is fairly busty and has magnificent legs. Of course, Baldy wasn't the exception. I noticed Baldy likes to check women's butts. I've seen him doing it several times. And he likes to show off how ripped he is. When Lily and I were regulars at the gym, I noticed she was enjoying the attention she got from men. Once we were using the elliptical machines in front of them. There is a cable machine. Baldy took off his t-shirt and started doing crossovers. I turned to Lily with my face of, "Can you believe this guy?" But she was staring at him. And she wet her lips. I saw Baldy, and I swear he was grinning. I felt crushed. I was getting in shape, but I'm not as muscular and fit as he is. When we were driving home, I made a comment about Alex showing off. And Lily said, "Really? I didn't notice." I told her, "You were staring." She said, "I don't remember. I must have been thinking about something else." I shrugged it off and kept driving. But from there on, I noticed they were talking more frequently at the gym. Some weeks later, Lily was doing squats using the Smith machine. Suddenly Baldy went to help her. Isn't he nice? He was grabbing her by the waist and I got angry. She finished the first set, and I got there and told him in a not nice way, "I got it from here." Baldy just smiled and told me, "No problem, buddy." He calls everybody buddy and walked off. Lily knows me very well. And when she heard my angry tone, she said, "My God." I told her, "We'll discuss this at home." The drama blew up. She called me immature and jealous. I told her I noticed he was trying to get into her pants. She said that she knows that, but she would never cheat on me. I said, "Then why did you let him touch you?" She said she didn't want to be rude. About an hour later, arguing, we agreed to change gyms, so we went to another place to exercise. But Lily was resentful at me. In the following months, her argument was that I don't trust her. On the third month after we changed gyms, a very good opportunity opened up in my job. But in the afternoon we discussed it and I took it. And we had to attend the gym at different hours. I went in the morning and Lily in the afternoon. This is when it all went south. Lily's resentment increased and we barely spoke. I sent her messages telling her about my day, that I miss her memes. But she rarely replied or just "Yes, okay, same here." I was very worried and proposed couple therapy. She said I was the one who needs therapy because I'm the one with trust issues. I agreed. I was so desperate to fix our marriage that I even thought it was all my fault. So the following year, 2012, I went to therapy. But Lily's behavior didn't change. We weren't intimate anymore. She never was in the mood. I snooped through her phone but didn't find anything out of the ordinary. I looked into her car for a second, phone, nothing. I checked her phone again to see her map history. It only showed me housework, house, gym, house. Whenever I tried to talk to her, she just said she feels that she's having a 40s phase. It'll pass. I never had any evidence of cheating. So I continued working and worrying. We live in a condo. The security guard A very cheerful man called Mr. P greeted me. We chat a lot. He was touching his shoulder and told me yesterday he had to move a heavy sofa and he has some pain today. I was sympathetic and he dropped the bomb. Maybe you can arrange a meeting with your massagist. I told him who and he said, the guy who came yesterday to massage Mrs. Lily. It took me a second to process this. I told him, do you have a video of him? I think he noticed I was pale and hurried to show me. Guess who? Baldy, of course. He has come a few times to massage my wife. I took the day off and started investigating. I asked a co-worker for his car and in the afternoon I followed Lily. She parked her car at the mall where the gym is. And there is Baldy waiting for her. They giggle and behave like a couple, kisses, hugs. And I feel nearly in tears. They walk a couple of blocks and go into a residential area. I tried to follow them with my phone ready to record. But the guard stopped me and asked, can I help you? I just said, what a nice couple, do you know them? He said he thinks they are newlyweds but can't tell me anything else. I called Lily but she never answered. I went to her car in the mall and wondered why that place doesn't show on the map. I dialed again. And I can hear her phone inside her car. That's why I also found out Lily hasn't attended the gym in 8 months. I didn't know that the previous night was the last day I slept with Lily in the same bed. I returned the car and went home and called my parents. Fortunately, my dad answered. And I told him everything. I was crying. And he comforted me and told me to get evidence. Obviously my marriage is over. And I need all I can gather. While he'll contact one of his friends who is an excellent divorce lawyer. I called when she saw the 2 missing calls. I just told her I was already at home. And she told me I'm on my way from the gym. My butt is killing me, yeah, I can guess. When she saw me she asked what happened. Why did you cry? I don't know how. But I was mentally focused. I smiled and told her. I got the flu, that's why I left work early. Don't come near me, it might be the bug. I'll be tested tomorrow. I'll sleep in the spare room, she agreed. I cried silently and didn't sleep a wink. Nearly midnight I heard her giggling. I guess she's messaging Baldy. But I didn't find any evidence of her contacting another man. Then it hit me, why didn't I see it earlier? I bet the affair partner is disguised as one of her female co-workers. In the morning while Lily was in the shower, I took her phone and created a session on my laptop and put her phone back in the same place. We both can unlock our phones. The session works while the phone is close to my laptop or on the same Wi-Fi account. Then I saw it under a female name. The profile picture was a dumbbell I entered. And most of the conversations were deleted. I guess they use work words as code in case I snooped. Can you deliver the papers on my desk? I know she doesn't have a desk at work. Going to the meeting, where are you on top of them? Boss is in his office, is clueless, pretty clever. I guess I am the boss because I know her boss is a woman. Lily got out of the shower, saw me and said, you look worse, why don't you stay with your parents? I denied the idea, thinking of getting evidence. After Lily went out I contacted my dad. And he gave me the name and number of the lawyer. I called him and explained everything. He told me the captions I took from my laptop are useless. They don't have any factual evidence since it's not the affair partner's name. And she was smart enough to leave pieces of conversation that look pretty innocent. I can take pictures of them at the mall. But she can argue they are just good fellows. And I can't invade into the residential area without permission because it might get me into more trouble at work. I was in zombie mode, thinking how to get evidence. I might install secret cameras in my house. But Baldy rarely goes to my home. And Lily might find them unless I'm out of the picture. I texted Lily and told her I'm positive for the bug. And I'll stay at my parents' because I might need help. She liked the idea and told me she would miss me but she'll call me every day. When I hung up I called my dad and my brother. When I got home, she had already packed a suitcase for me. She was so eager to get rid of me I told her, I'll take my laptop, and then I checked her messages. Boss will be out of the office. Want to come to my desk? She sent this message almost after I told her I was positive for the bug. Good she but we didn't have dinner, no kisses. No hugs. I noticed her watching her watch twice from the door. I told her I'll miss you. I was expecting her to shut the door in my face. But she walked me to my car and I was gone. My dad and brother were outside the building waiting for Baldy to appear. But he didn't show up after half an hour. I thought. Why did she walk me to my car? Of course. Because Baldy was already inside the building. Waiting, perhaps inside her car. It would be very suspicious if her massagers came at this hour. I came back, hurried to my house. And entered silently. I heard music coming from the bedroom and the moaning next to the door. There is a sofa, his and her clothes were on it. I put my phone to record and opened the bedroom door. And there she was, my wife. The love of my life for 11 years. In all fours and Baldy behind her. I got very good seconds of both of their faces when they saw me open the door. Lily screamed and covered herself with the blanket. Baldy went alpha male immediately. Walking naked towards me. I took a shot of him doing raw, my wife. He yelled aggressively at me. Why don't you go for a walk, buddy? I hit his throat with my hand opened. I saw this movement in the Mel Gibson movie Ransom. The next second Baldy was coughing and gasping. Kneeling on the floor, I yelled, get out of my house. And kicked him out. I threw his clothes at him. When my dad, brother and Mr. P were arriving at my house, I told them, I'll take it from here, and closed the door. Lily was still on the bed covering herself. She was trembling. I told her, I have never hurt you. Nor will I get dressed. I'll wait for you in the living room. While I was waiting, I sent the video to my lawyer. And he answered, I'm sorry for you, but jackpot. A few minutes later, Lily showed up. She couldn't look me in the eyes. I started recording the conversation. I asked, why didn't you answer? Was I such an awful husband to you? She started crying but didn't answer. Do you love him? She shook her head but no words. I stood up and hit the table and said, say something. Lily, damn it. She opened her eyes wide and started trembling again. Like a puppy when it's scared. I have never yelled at her before. I sat and talked calmly. My lawyer will contact you for the divorce. Get a lawyer, she finally spoke. We can fix this. Fix what? Our marriage was over since Baldy was in the picture. And you chose him over me. It was a mistake. No. It wasn't. It was a choice you made. And this is the consequence. What did you think would happen when I find out? Silence again. Go to your sister and tell her the truth. Or I will show her the video. She went to the bedroom and started packing. I followed her and watched since 2 days ago. I was trying to convince myself my wife is long gone. The person who I shared my house with is not my wife. But seeing her putting her clothes inside the suitcase neatly, with her gracious movements and those little things I love of her, hit me hard. I went to the spare room and started ugly crying. I heard when she closed the main door. She picked her clothes that were on the sofa. She made the bed where I caught them and I dropped on the floor. Much later I called my dad. He told me Baldy wanted to press charges but Mr. P told him he didn't sign in. So he's trespassing the condo and can sue him. He dropped it and went out. My nosy brother pressed his ear on the door. And my dad took him from the other ear to his car. I was exhausted the previous days. I didn't sleep well. So I almost passed out in the spare room. Next morning my phone had a lot of Lily's messages. Apologizing and asking for a second chance. I just blocked her. My sister-in-law called me. Apparently Lily hasn't told her what happened. Just that we are fighting. I guess it's good my father-in-law is not alive to see Lily's behavior. She was the youngest and his favorite. Mother-in-law has silent dementia. All this happened a week ago. Next week, Lily is going to be served. It's been 12 days since D-Day. What have I been doing from there? Day 1 after Discovery Friday. I had a nice chat with Mr. P. He confessed he faked his shoulder pain. He just wanted to warn me about Baldy also. He told me a very nosy neighbor saw when I kicked Baldy naked from my apartment. Surely in a week all condo will know my situation. My brother came to help me change the lock of the door. When he left I felt so alone and cried a lot. I called my job to ask for a day off at night. I spoke to my lawyer. He said he's making the divorce papers. He couldn't start until he had the evidence. So my divorce will be divorced by mutual consent. That's smoother than uncaused divorce. Which is longer and pretty nasty also. He told me not to share the video. Lily will be served in 2 weeks. Sister-in-law called me. But I told her to ask Lily why we're divorcing. Day 2 after discovery Saturday sister-in-law came. And I showed her the video. I drove her home and saw Lily's car when I got home. I still felt crushed and cried some more. Day 3 after discovery Sunday. I visited my parents. My mom cried with me. She really loved Lily. My dad had a chat with me about my money, properties, and stuff. When I returned home, Mr. P told me Lily and Baldy showed up. I guess they are going to make their relationship public now that the cat is out of the bag. But strangely they came at different times. Lily came in the morning. She parked her car and saw mine wasn't there. Tried to enter my house. But her key doesn't work anymore. Day 5 after discovery day Tuesday. Had a meeting with my lawyer to review my assets. Fortunately my dad made Lily sign a prenup. So she can't touch anything I had before we got married. My house. Mainly all remaining stuff gets divided 50-50. And I can get compensation for her adultery as compensation. I'm going to take out alimony. I can fight for all the stuff. But everything reminds me of her. And I want to start anew. When I left home, I heard whispers. I turned my head and saw 2 neighbors that immediately pretended they didn't see me. They walked in front of me and greeted me. I knew this would happen after that. I went to the gym and work. This repeats all week, so I'm going to admit it. Day 6 after discovery day Wednesday. Nothing interesting. I only have Facebook as social media. I ignore all direct messages asking me to contact Lily. I closed it and opened Reddit and had a nice time reading about all you champions that overcame what I have been experiencing. I felt better. So I thought of sharing my own experience. Day 7 after discovery day Thursday. I started writing. I posted it before going to the gym. When I was at work. It amazed me how many people were reacting to my story. I answered some comments. Day 8 after discovery. Day Friday. I was reading comments and answering all morning. I was smiling. It feels good to be appreciated. 2 comments stuck in my mind that I didn't think about. 1. Report a fair partner to my old gym, and 2. My home is tainted. I need a fresh start. So, before I went to the gym, I looked for real estate agents to sell or rent my house. I'm not comfortable here anymore. I haven't entered my bedroom since discovery day. I've been sleeping in the spare room. I don't want to live like this. Day 9 after discovery day Saturday. Since Lily would come and bother me, I decided to spend the day outside. She did come. Then she visited my parents and brother. They just texted me Lily came. I answered thank you. I don't want to talk about her yet. Day 10 after discovery day Sunday. I spent the day with my parents. We visited a town 2 hours from the city and had a blast. I don't know if Lily came. My dad told me not to sell my house but to rent it. I agree and went home. When I got home, Mr. P told me Baldy came in the afternoon alone. He asked for me but Mr. P told him I'm away. He left without a word. Day 11 after discovery. Day Monday yesterday Monday morning. I went to my old gym. I was not sure if I'd meet Baldy. He worked in the afternoon. But he was screwing my wife in the afternoon. So I thought he's changed his shift. He was nowhere to be found. I asked to talk to Frank, the gym owner, while I was waiting for him. I met an old janitor I used to chat with. He told me to say hi to Miss Lily. I guess my new normal is to tell everybody we split up. I smiled at him. Frank finally received me. I asked about Baldy. He told me Monday is his day off. He asked for more hours and now he works from Tuesday to Sunday in the morning. Then I explained the reason for my visit. He listened carefully until I finished and finally showed him the video. He stayed silent and thinking he said, "You're not going to like this, I just thought." "What now?" Frank called the receptionist to bring Harry. Another coach and Baldy's friend. Who has a big beard. Frank asked him to tell me about Baldy's girlfriend. Fasten your seat belts, this is good. According to Harry, Alex is head over heels for Lily. And Frank confirmed it. He told me Alex had many complaints. Especially from female members. But for the last months he has changed. No complaints. And is very professional to all members. Harry told me something that made my jaw drop. Baldy is trying to marry Lily by baby trapping her. I was processing this information when I felt something starting from my chest. It climbed up my throat and finally blew up in my mouth. I laughed, I swear I was joker madly laughing. I even teared up a bit. Frank and Harry were very confused. I thought, oh. Sweet karma, thank you. After I calmed down but with a big grin on my face. Harry asked what was going on and Frank explained. This is Baldy's girlfriend's husband. Harry made a shocked face and said, oh man. This is bad, this is really messed up. Harry left. Next we discussed firing Baldy. Frank said he has to report the situation to the Coach Association. Not real name. And he surely has to fire him because Lily was a gym member. Or Frank's gym could have legal repercussions about his license as a coach. I need to make a legal document explaining Baldy is the reason for my divorce. The key number of my divorce case and the video. My attorney will give the video to the Coach Association's attorney. I can't share it. Baldy will lose his license from that association. But he can go to another association and apply for another license. It would take months though. I asked if Baldy can appeal. Frank said he might. But it would be a waste of energy. The association does not tolerate such conduct also. He doesn't have the money to pay for somebody who represents him. That reminded me of the residential area where he entered with Lily. I thought Baldy was wealthy. Frank brought his face closer to me and said, "What residential area?" I showed on the Maps app. "You tailed them to this place." "I did on Discovery Day -1. Frank got angry. "That's where my late father's house is." After Frank's father passed away, he inherited the house. All the equipment that's obsolete or needs repair goes to that house. He lent Baldy the key to go and keep some stuff occasionally. But he does not have permission to stay there. He surely has a copy of the key. And he might be living there illegally. He's going to investigate this further. It will be easy since there are tons of cameras in that place. I was leaving the gym when I heard Mr. Original Poster. Mr. Original Poster, wait. It was Harry. He told me he was sorry about what's happening. Alex never told him who his girlfriend was. He just said he met her at XX Mall. I thanked him and took a step towards the exit. He rushed and said, "Can you tell me what happened?" I told him pretty much what you heard. He was screwing my wife and now I'm divorcing her. Another step, what will happen to Baldy? That depends on Frank and the Coach Association. I tried to take another step but he said, "How are you handling it?" "Okay, this is strange." I stared at Harry and remembered Baldy went to my house twice. I said, "You called Baldy and is on his way here." "Right, you are just buying time, am I wrong?" He made a guilty face. "Please, Mr. Original Poster. Talk to him, is really desperate. He was crying yesterday. His girl, I mean your wife, isn't returning his calls. Tell me, why should I care if he's rotting in hell? I'll be here with you so you don't be scared." I laughed and said, "Scared of that weakling? He didn't tell you I kicked him out of my house naked?" "Right." Harry didn't believe me. "Fine. Let's see what he wants." I saw there are cameras where we were talking and sat in front of a table in the reception. I don't think Alex is stupid enough to attack me. But who knows besides? I'm really curious about what he wants. He came running 10 minutes later and saw me waiting for him. He extended his hand. I crossed my arms and left him with the hand hanging. "What the hell do you want?" I looked angrily directly into his eyes. He sat in front of me and said, "Listen, buddy. Stop right there, we are not buddies, Mr. S. the janitor. Is my buddy, you are not." He seemed apologetic and said, "Okay, my bad. I want to say I'm sorry for everything. I never wanted to hurt you. And I really care about Lily well. You just said 3 lies to my face. You are not sorry, you did mean to destroy my life. And you just care about yourself." He changed from apologetic to annoyed and said, "Okay. Whatever, man, just tell me where Lily is. Last time I saw her was when I kicked her cheating ass out of my house after I kicked you out naked." I know Harry was listening. Baldy's face changed color to red and he said, "That was a cheap shot, I should sue you. As far as I know, you entered my home legally. And perhaps you were raping my wife. I have videos of you getting out. But you didn't sign." And he changed again and said, Okay, I'm sorry, tell me what you want from me. Please tell Lily I need to speak to her." At that moment Frank came in a rush. I guess he saw through the cameras that Baldy showed up. "Everything okay here? Everything is fine, Frank. I was just telling this what I want." I stood up and talked close to Alex's face. "What I want is what is coming for you. What you deserve, what the law has prepared for you. I want to crush your dreams just like you did with mine. You want kids, guess what you won't. And you will never have," Alex said. "What's that supposed to mean?" But Frank asked him to see him in his office. Harry looked impressed. He grabbed Baldy's arm and pulled him. "Dude. You're in deep." I finally left. Day 12 after Discovery Day, Tuesday. I feel I am ready to face Lily now. I'm still grinning while I type this. So, how have you been? Do you remember I started therapy because Lily suggested I'm having trust issues? Turns out I don't have any. I'm one step away from becoming a very gullible person. But the therapist noticed I have a lot of insecurities due to my obesity since I remember I was the chubby nerdy guy at school. Never boyfriend, always best friend. I had my first girlfriend at 18. And she dumped me a week later for a better-looking guy. I went to an engineering high school. So ladies were few. My next relationship was in my 20s with a very toxic girl who blamed me for everything. Even for the rain. She really did a job on me, making me feel guilty for anything that pops into her mind. Later, I started working because my family had money problems. And I didn't have another relationship until I met Lily at university. The previous session to the last one with my therapist. We discussed my feelings about not having kids. She has helped me to get my priorities in order. Number 1. Me and everything that covers myself, like physical health, gym and eating well, intelligence, studying, learning, mental challenges and soul beliefs, moral ethics. Number 2. People who live with me, Lily. Number 3. Family and friends. Number 4. Work. Number 5. Leisure and entertainment. The last session was about Lily. The therapist asked about my plans. I told her I will divorce Lily. She told me it is normal. I'm in such distress because my priority too is crumbling. I will have to pass through similar stages of grieving death. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression and acceptance. I had to Google them because I forgot them. I am in the bargaining stage because I'm thinking a lot of what ifs. What if she really is remorseful? What if we are the golden couple who will survive an infidelity? But the reality is that I will never trust her ever again. It will kill me knowing she's at home alone doing God knows what when I'm at work. Torture for me. Depression is a dangerous stage in my case because it can lead me to gain weight again. I should stick to the gym and watch closely my diet. Hope this info helps people who are grieving now. The update: I've been very busy. I applied for a promotion at work. I could have taken it a long time ago. But it demands lots of traveling. I feel it will help me heal to be away also. I've been looking for a new place to live. And I found one, a small apartment perfect for me. I've already paid 3 months of rent in advance. I'll move as soon as possible. I haven't seen Lily since Discovery Day or Alex since that Monday when I'm sure he was fired. On the bright side, one of my neighbors, a lady in her 50s, met me in the condo's elevator. She told me she hasn't seen Lily lately. I told her we are splitting apart. And then she happens to remember she's having a dinner. And a single niece is coming for a few days. And I'm invited. It took me by surprise. Looks like I'm in the market again. My attorney told me Lily was going to be served last Friday. But we had some festivities in my country. So she was served last Sunday morning at my in-laws' home. The following Monday somebody, Lily I guess, slid a letter under my door 3 sheets back in front from Lily, mainly explaining about what led her to cheat. Here we'll introduce the second villainess in the story, a co-worker. We'll call her Flirty. I've met her sometimes at Lily's work events like Christmas or anniversary celebrations. She's really thin, almost skinny. And usually wears a lot of makeup also. She thinks every man wants to sleep with her. One time she told Lily I was staring at her. I did once because I could see her ribs. And I thought she was unhealthily thin anyway. According to Lily's letter, when she lost weight, Flirty approached her because she wanted them to be best friends since they are the two hotties at work. That's when the brainwash started. Flirty made her think she deserves a better man. She's entitled to it. She told her I was a pathetic man that will try to own her now that she's hot. When the incident with the Smith machine happened, Flirty said to Lily, "Cece, didn't I tell you he wants to be your owner more than your husband?" Lily bought it, and due to Flirty's manipulation, she was resentful to me for months when we attended the gym at different times. Lily met Baldy accidentally at the mall, and he approached her. She confessed she had a crush on a guy similar to Baldy before I met her. She never told me that before they went for a bite. And they both flirted. Lily showed Flirty Baldy's picture from Facebook. And she told her she'll be dumb if she didn't him. Besides, her pathetic husband me doesn't compare with that Greek god. She had the opportunity, she was eager to. So she did. Alex took her to his house, which coincidentally is close to the mall where they ran into each other. So she doesn't know that's Frank's dad's home. All this happened 9 months ago. Flirty is a professional cheater. She told Lily how to cover her tracks, the work words code to hide Alex's contact and to hide her map tracking history. She even told her that changing her phone password is stupid because I'll immediately suspect. Lily noticed Baldy hated when she talked about me. And his punishment, he made hickeys on her body. Now I remember she started using pajamas to sleep because it was cold. He used to trash me, but she never played along. Meanwhile, Flirty used to tell her that she's entitled to this romance. And I deserve being cheated on because I'm a beater. During those months, she says she liked the feeling of danger, the thrill. And the sex with Baldy was good. But it also hurt her seeing me struggle, trying to be a better husband, and knowing she was the reason for my pain. It was easier to ignore me and continue with the pleasure Alex gave her. Discovery Day arrives. I completely blindsided her. She thought I was clueless. I'm going to write this part just like she wrote it. I was in shock and covered myself with the blanket by pure instinct. When I reacted, I saw you pushing and kicking Baldy out of the room in the house. When I heard you closing the door and coming back, I didn't know what to say. I have never seen you this angry before. Then you said, I have never hurt you, nor will I. Years we've known each other. You have never hurt me. Not even when we found out that it's my fault that we can't have children. After that she heard me crying in the spare room. She wanted to comfort me, but how could she? In the main door, we have a mirror to check ourselves before going out. She looked at herself, but she couldn't bear the look. When she entered her car she cried and told herself, "What have I done?" Baldy called her that night, but she blocked him. She arrived at her sister-in-law's house at about midnight. 2 hours later after the drama. Her house is around 40 minutes from mine. She was scared of telling her sister-in-law what happened because she's older and she has a very strong character. The next day she told Flirty what had happened. Flirty told her she should be happy that she got rid of me. Jay, and then what if, babe, you are free. You can have sex with Baldy or any guy you want. The next day is when I showed my sister-in-law the video. Lily was babysitting my sister-in-law's twins. After I drove her home, My sister-in-law asked Lily to help her go do some errands, just the two of them. That was a lie. They parked at a park. And she demanded to know what was happening in her head to cheat on me. Lily cried and told her I don't know. My sister-in-law confessed she was envious of our marriage 11 years and not a huge fight. We both looked happy. She couldn't believe her little sister was capable of such a thing. Lily was there for my sister-in-law when her ex-husband left her for another woman. Lily asked her not to kick her out. But my sister-in-law told her she can stay. After all, that house belongs to both of them. But she let her know she's very disappointed and she will side with me if I ever need her help. Lily understood the next Sunday. Lily came to apologize, but I was not home. When she received my attorney's card, she called. And my attorney confirmed I hired him. She knew I was really going to divorce her. So she went to her new home and wrote a confession and sent it to everybody we both know. I started receiving messages and phone calls the following week. But I didn't want to read or answer. Now I've read some of the direct messages. And it is what she said: most of them want to comfort me. One of her cousins said it takes guts to confess. So I should give her a try the following week. She tried to distract herself with work. But it seems everybody now knows she cheated. If you are unfaithful in my country, people see you as an easy woman, so female co-workers don't talk to her. Particularly flirty. And male co-workers are annoyingly friendly to her. She asked to be relocated, but it'll take months. So she quit her job the following Friday. She has a good amount of savings. We had our finances separated. And since I was the big earner, I paid for almost everything the next day. She was looking for me, in her words. To beg me to take her back, she came here. But when she saw I wasn't home, she went to my parents. My dad refused to speak to her. But my mom was sympathetic and told her that she's sorry about all this. But her son, me, is really hurt and asked them not to talk about her anymore. Lily understood, but then went to my brothers. He told her original poster is not here, and frankly, I don't want to talk to you. And closed the door in front of her face. She came back to her new house very sad. All last week. She has been reflecting on her actions. And she's been really depressed. Realizing how much damage she has done to our relationship. To her family and mine. And all for meaningless pleasure coming from a douchebag that, in her words, believes vaccines are just a pharmacy scam and believes in astrology. Yeah, Baldy is heavily tattooed. He has a Tuscan sign on his arm. My sister-in-law suggested she go to therapy. I don't blame. If my brother were in the same situation, I'd be very disappointed. But I try to make him realize what is wrong with him. She finally went to therapy. And her therapist suggested writing me this letter and coming clean to me. So she says all written in the letter is true. She swears on her life that if I take her back, there will be no spouse in the history of humanity more grateful, loyal and honest than her. She suggests total access to her social media that I already had. She will always answer my calls no matter the situation and never have friends that I don't approve of. There are more things about family and friends that I don't think it's important to share. Besides, it needs a lot of context. Finally, she pleads to meet me and let her apologize properly to my face. In her words, sorry doesn't start to describe what I'm feeling right now. What do I think of this letter? The things I can confirm are that she hasn't contacted Alex until that Monday when he was fired. And she confessed to family and friends. The rest could be partially true also. I am sure it's been sweetened. For example, she does not mention when she called me jealous and immature. She does not mention letting Baldy do her raw and she let him finish inside. She can give me all her passwords. But she lied to my face and gaslit me for 9 months. According to her, and she was very good at it. Besides, I don't want to be her jailer, as I said. I will never trust her ever again. Whenever I see her face, I'll also see Alex's nape. And in front of her, I will not be her second option. Nor will I be a doormat. I haven't replied yet. But I think I'll see her next weekend. It's been some very rough days for those who want to know. I did meet Lily. No, I didn't answer her letter. It was by a dumb mistake I made. I'll explain. A few days after my last post, I had an anxiety attack due to the stress I had bottled up. According to my therapist, my life had a 180 change. And my mind hadn't had time to adjust. It was my first time having this kind of episode. I thought I was having a stroke. Tachycardia. Sweating and panic clouded my judgment. My coworkers dialed emergency. And an ambulance came for me. If I hadn't been so scared, I'd have enjoyed the ride. I was so very sure at any moment I'd croak. The paramedic repeated to me, "Mister, you're having a panic attack. Everything is going to be fine." I tried to focus on his words, but I couldn't. My only thoughts were, I'm gonna die at the hospital. They sedated me. And I started to feel better and sleepy. I could answer questions. The doctor asked for my name, my age, what day it was. I could answer correctly until I passed out. When I woke up, guess who was next to me? Lily. I forgot to take out her name and number for my emergency contact. I was very confused due to the drugs. I smiled at her and said, "Lily." She was sitting reading a book. And when she heard me, she jumped off her seat and approached me. She had tears in her eyes and told me, "Hello, my love. You really scared us." That's when everything came back to me. I stopped smiling and asked, "What are you doing here?" I tried to sit, but my body felt numb and clumsy. She shushed me and told me, "Take it easy. No sudden movements, I'll get the doctor." She kissed my forehead and left. I wanted to evade the kiss, but also my reflexes were numb. That kiss felt so familiar. But I know it has been more than a year since she kissed me with sincere love. While she was gone, I looked around. I was in a big room with 6 other beds. 4 of them with patients. They were all separated by curtains to have privacy. I also noticed I wasn't wearing my clothes but a hospital robe. A few minutes later she came back with the doctor. I had slept for 26 hours. The doctor explained all about the anxiety attack I suffered. He asked me if I stopped taking any meds. But Lily, and I answered almost at the same time, "I don't." He doesn't take any meds. I hate how well she knows me. The doctor told me the episode comes from heavy stress or a sudden change in my life, or both. I glanced at Lily, but she hid her eyes. He ordered some days off to reflect and get some therapy. I told him I'm already in therapy. But the doc said I need to see a psychiatrist. My therapist is a thanatologist psychologist. So she can't prescribe meds. He told me that I must be hungry, and the next day I'd be discharged, and he left. It was 8 p.m. So Lily had another hour until visiting hours were over. And she didn't look like she wanted to leave. It felt awkward. And that feeling leads me to chatter like an idiot. So I asked, "You said you scared us. Who are us?" She smiled and said, "Your parents and me. They were here in the morning." "Did they leave?" "Yes. They are expecting my call. I'll talk to them tomorrow. You can leave. I want to sleep, but your dinner is almost here." When the doctor mentioned I must be hungry, my stomach grumbled. I didn't eat a thing for 26 hours. A few minutes later, a veteran nurse came with a tray on a cart. She asked Lily to manipulate the bed so I'd be in a sitting position to eat. I don't know what kind of face I made, because Lily was amused and staring at me while the nurse arranged the tray in front of me on my bed. "I'm an ex-glutton guy," she said. "God, I love you so much." I glared at her again and asked her one more time to go home. But the nurse got really mad at me. According to her, Lily sponge bathed me, and she even saved me. I didn't notice until she told me finally. She asked Lily to feed me because I was still coming out of the meds. I told her we are getting divorced. But she said that's not her problem. And I should be thanking her. She's been here to help. And I'm a very ungrateful person. Then she left. I refused her help and tried to eat. Even though my movements were very clumsy. I was making a mess with the soup. And Lily begged me to let her help me. I felt like a spoiled brat throwing a tantrum. I just said fine and let her feed me. I never felt so vulnerable before. She behaved very maternally and affectionately. I could have a close look at her. She wasn't wearing makeup. I saw more lines of expression, and also, she has crow's feet now. I felt better after I finished eating. She took the tray out of the room. She was in a good mood. I saw a patient in front of me, a man in his 50s. Checking out Lily when she went out and came back. I'm not surprised she was wearing a coat and jeans. But she's very pretty. I didn't like the feeling of being in debt to her. When she sat down, I said thanks for being here. She looked me in the eyes and smiled anytime. She tried to comb my hair on my forehead with her hand. But I could reject her this time. She looked hurt. And I didn't say anything. She tried to grab my hand. But I removed it and she said, "Can we talk, please?" I remained silent. There are only two reasons for me to at least be cordial to her: the twins. They weren't baptized when they were toddlers. But after my sister-in-law's ex went away, Lily and I supported my sister-in-law and the twins. I love those two little rascals with all my heart. When we babysat them, I told Lily this would count as parent training for when we had our own. That will never happen. My sister-in-law asked us to be their godparents. And I teared up with emotion. They are the closest thing I have to a daughter and a son. I know Lily loves them too. And I don't want any drama near my godson and goddaughter. And I miss them so much. I haven't seen them since about a week before Discovery Day. Also, I haven't spoken to them because I was avoiding Lily. So I told her, "Okay, let's talk in the condo. I'll contact you soon." She offered to take me home the next day when I get discharged. I told her no, I'll ask my parents to come for me. And I'll see her again in the condo. I wanted to talk to my parents. She noticed I was looking for my clothes. She opened a cabinet next to my bed and gave me my phone. I looked at her suspiciously. And she made her guilty face again. Meaning I am sure she snooped through my phone. And she admitted it. We didn't utter a word. That's the language we developed by being married for 11 years. I don't care if she snooped, I have nothing to hide. I texted my parents. And they called almost immediately. While I was talking to them, the same old nurse told Lily visiting hours were over. She wanted to say goodbye, but I ignored her. She whispered in my ear, "I know you keep your word. I'll wait for you to contact me. I love you." She kissed my hair and left. I do keep my word. My father always told me a man is worth as much as his word. I asked my parents if they knew what happened after I passed out. According to them, one of my co-workers showed up in the hospital to give information about my medical insurance. That's when the staff saw the emergency contact and they called Lily. My sister-in-law contacted them after the hospital called. When Lily came, she met my co-worker and he left. Lily was waiting for the doctor assigned to me. When my parents arrived, my dad was very cordial to her and asked what she knew. After a while waiting, a nurse called out, "Relatives of patient original poster." They stood up. And the nurse guided them to the doctor. They've already tested my blood and told them I'm physically healthy. My anxiety attack stems from a psychological aspect. The doctor asked for Lily to see me because she's the emergency contact. She promised my parents to call them after seeing me. When she came back, she was surprised my parents were still there waiting. She gave them a ride to their home while she told them she helped the nurses to undress me and put the hospital robe on. They didn't talk about our divorce. My parents thanked her for the ride and agreed to visit in the morning. And she'd switch in the afternoon around 1:00 p.m. Also, I called my sister-in-law to thank her for calling my parents. Luckily my godchildren were still up. And I could speak to them. They were drawing get well soon cards for me. I promised to visit next weekend the next day. It was Thursday I was discharged from the hospital. My parents took me to my new home. A week before my panic attack, I started moving to my new place. I took my personal belongings, everything else will stay in the condo. I'll rent it as fully furnished luckily. There are 3 universities nearby. I know there are students who would kill for a place like mine. I've already bought the basic furniture, a refrigerator, A stove I have to learn to cook my meals from now on, a bed. A table with chairs and a desk. Cleaning tools. I felt thrilled for the first time. I can call this little apartment my own place. I bought a nice warm jacket for Mr. P. I gave it to him, thanked him for his help, and told him I'll visit from time to time. I didn't attend my neighbor's dinner. I don't feel like dating yet. I think I need more therapy and to do some more healing at my new home. I reflected about my goals, meeting Lily. I concluded I need closure to understand her actions. Make her understand there is no possible reconciliation. And end up things amicably. I'll divorce her and move on. But I don't want to lose my in-laws. My sweet and incoherent mother-in-law. My stubborn and strong sister-in-law. And her twins who I love. I don't want to miss their birthdays and future achievements. I want to be at least cordial to Lily at work. My boss gave me 5 days off starting the next week. I didn't want to stay, and so I went to the beach. It really helped me to be away from everything and rest. I realized I do love my wife, but the chubby one. The one who got excited when Pizza Fridays arrived. The one who I married 11 years ago. The one who supported my dreams and hopes. The one who hugged me when life got rough. I don't know what happened to her. Did vanity kill her horniness? No idea. But I loved my wife deeply. And the one who betrayed me is not my wife finally. I saw my godchildren. My sister-in-law took them to a park. And I met them there. The 4 of us had a great day. Last weekend I met Lily. It was pretty much as I expected, pleading and lots of crying on both sides. Surprisingly, she didn't blame me. She admitted it was all on her. When she snooped through my phone, she saw I moved from the condo, my Reddit posts. So she knows everything I know, and more importantly to her, that I'm not dating. Before the meeting, I had another session with my therapist and discussed my anxiety attack and the talk I'll have with Lily. She told me the best way to move on is by following the next steps. 1. Hit rock bottom. 2. Identify and take control of your emotions. 3. Focus on self-improvement. 4. Take a break. Literally. 5. Be constructive. Most of you champions told me to keep my emotions in check. I'm sure I'll get angry, sad, anxious. I mustn't let it cloud my words in judgment also. I'm prone to have another anxiety episode. My therapist mentioned some breathing techniques that really helped. Let's move to last Saturday. I asked Mr. P to check if she's alone. She came on time, alone. And stunning new short dress. High heels that she hates, but she knows I like her wearing them. I won't lie, my heart skipped a beat. She smiled at me when I opened the door like she was so happy to see me. I remained calm and expressionless. She opened her arms expecting a hug. But I made her a sign inviting her to come in. I offered tea. She loves a meal. Tea she accepted. And I made myself a coffee. We sat in front of each other. The table in the middle. I took out my phone and started recording. I tried to write word by word and using boxing references. But it's too long and crude, so I gave up. I'll give you a summary after some dumb chit-chat. She made me feel awkward again. She told me she's read my post. And the waterworks began. She said the Lily who made me suffer is gone now. She says that thing called air fog is real. And she can't believe what she did to me. I told her. Then, you know, I think your letter has been sugarcoated. She said all she wrote is true. But I mentioned I think it is that flirty brainwashed her. She's 10 times smarter than that. I demanded her to tell me the truth. She went silent. And I raised my voice. No, Lily. You are not allowed to be silent again. I had to breathe because I was getting angry. You have to come clean to me right now. Sadly, she admitted she wanted Baldy. She admitted she loved the attention she was receiving. And when she saw Baldy devouring her with his eyes, she felt thrilled and aroused. She confessed it began before the elliptical machines incident. About a week before. When I was changing clothes in the showers. And she was waiting for me outside. Baldy chatted with her and he was flirty. And she couldn't believe he'd come on to her. She cried when she told me this. I asked, Is that what it takes for you to throw your morals and ethics away? A strong body and a bird brain from that moment. I refer to Baldy as bird brain. She said she was really stupid and selfish. And that she took me for granted. But she assures me that this was only physical. Never emotional. She swears she never said to him, "I love you." And I am the only owner of her heart and her body. I breathed and regained some composure. I told her, "It's been about 3 months since we had sex. And last time I could tell you weren't into it. I bet you were longing for bird brain." She says that's not true because according to her, she can't bear a life without me. I said, "I don't believe you. You had a good income. You could easily sustain a decent life with bird brain." She repeated she doesn't love him. And he was just a toy. I called one more time and reminded her when I saw them in the mall. I'm going to copy this part. Original poster. I saw you at the mall with him hugging, kissing. Like when we were engaged. She was fidgeting. I'm so sorry. Original poster. Tell me the truth. You do love him. She shook her head. I liked how people stared at us. But I don't love him. Original poster. Seems like you were the perfect couple. Which would never happen with us, right? You love the attention. Which you would never have with a person like me. Lily, please don't say that. Original poster. Why not? It's true. I don't perceive myself as an attractive man. I'm the kind of guy anybody wouldn't look twice at. Lily, no, you are the man of my dreams. I only want to be with you. Original poster. If you love me so much, then why cheat? What did he give you that I didn't? She couldn't answer the question. I repeated it. And she covered her face with her hands and finally admitted she considers bird brain's body more attractive than mine. Another jab. It was something I expected. But damn, it hurt. Lily, I swear I had a moment of weakness. And I hate myself for that. Original poster. One moment, I yelled again. That moment lasted 9 months. Crying again. It went out of control. Original poster. 9 months of disrespect and lies. Tell me, how could I trust you ever again? Was bird brain the only one? What will happen when the next douchebag steps in front of you? You were very good at lying and hiding. She looked desperate. I'm telling you the truth. I know you have no reason to believe me. But I've reflected. I've seen my life without you. And I am so sorry. I'm sorry I cheated on you. I'm sorry I lied. I'm sorry your family hates me. But most of all, I am so ashamed I hurt you. I beg for your forgiveness. I'm here to come clean and fix things so we could be together again. A lot of tears fell from her face before Discovery Day. I'd give an arm to ease those tears today. I only felt anger. Original poster. I think you are not getting it. I can no longer trust you. I can't be your husband anymore. There is no way I can forget you in that room with him. You texted him the very same day I told you I was going to my parents. And you were ready to get rid of me. My God, Lily. Half an hour after I left, he was inside you and raw. And you even let him finish inside. Why? At this moment I was crying too. And I forced her to answer. She looked defeated. She said it made bird brain more excited. And she liked it, and since she can't get pregnant, she thought it didn't matter. I swallowed saliva because I felt a huge knot in my throat. With trembling voice I asked what else. I was fishing for more information. I didn't expect to hear what was coming. Lily couldn't look me in the eyes. She looked down and said, "He made me beg him to finish inside." This was an uppercut to me. I couldn't speak for several minutes. This is when I hit rock bottom. We both cried. And Lily only said, "Forgive me, forgive me." She tried to grab my hand but I removed it. Then she told me the first time bird brain finished inside was the first time she denied intimacy to me. She felt dirty and didn't want me to be tainted. I felt disgusted. I almost threw up. She swears that's when bird brain became more demanding and threatened to come and tell me everything because he thinks Lily belongs to him. I couldn't utter a word. I could still feel the knot in my throat. I wiped my tears with my sleeve. I used our sign language to tell her that her makeup was running. She went to the bathroom. And I could catch my breath to calm down a little. While she was away, I could confirm there is no way I'd take her back. I'm so disgusted I feel like I was gutted out. But also I knew I needed to know this. I needed to know how deep the rabbit hole goes. I don't want to carry this anger and confusion anymore. When she came back from the bathroom, I told her, I can't go on, I need space and time. She said she understood before she left. She asked me if I will ever forgive her. I told her I don't know. But I appreciate her honesty. She hugged me. I didn't return the hug. She cried. And I could feel her tears wetting my neck. She swore in the name of my late father-in-law, who was her hero, she will never cheat on me ever again. That she has gone no contact with Bird Brain. She called him Bird Brain herself, and to devote her life to us. To our marriage. She even proposed to gain weight again so I'd be sure she's committed to me. I told her she's saying nonsense. We both made a big effort to lose weight. But she says therapy made her realize she's a narcissist and an attention junkie. I gave her a key copy of the condo to get all her stuff. She finally left. I thought I'd cry a lot. But strangely I had a feeling of relief. It feels like my mind is telling me, now you can move on. I lay down and reflected a lot. I even skipped a meal in my mind. I finally accepted the love of my life is gone. I guess I got my closure.